CJ Stroud versus Jordan Love. Have we taken things too far? A surprising beef emerges in the locker room. I was on the scene. I'll tell you exactly how that happened. Plus other things heading into the weekend and the big game between the Texans and the Pack. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it.
We'll do it live.
Hey. Locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle is what we really do.
We made it. It is Friday. It is the locker room, number one source for Texans digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can see me right here, 10:30, Monday through Friday. Also in the mornings on SNL, 4 o'clock on Fridays. We got you covered with the Texans. We were on the scene today. A little bit of beef that we didn't see coming, but we were right there. We were right there as it happened. I'll let you know about that. One of the best players on the Packers is talking about one of the reserve defensive linemen for the Texans. But I just want to jump right into this. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. Be sure to ride along. This is going to be an awesome weekend of football. I can hardly contain myself and hardly wait. I want to make something clear. DeMeco Ryans said something early this week. It went viral. I've seen it mentioned by many people that cover the Packers, many fans of the Packers. I've seen it mentioned in this chat as well. Jordan Love, the best quarterback that the Texans have faced. Let's just bust that myth real quick. He's not. Jordan Love is not better than Josh Allen. Jordan Love's good. Jordan Love could end up being real good. But he might play the best. Sam Darnold played pretty good, though. But as far as the best quarterback the Texans have faced at this point is Josh Allen. Now, Green Bay may be the best team that the Texans have faced up to this point. We'll see what happens between them and the Vikings as the season goes on. There's still a lot of season left to be played. And at some point, Jordan Love might develop into the best quarterback that the Texans have faced. But he is not better than Josh Allen. Let's just make that very, very clear. I don't even think you can say CJ Stroud's better than Josh Allen at this point. There's a big body of work there. There's a lot of success. So let's not take it too far. You're trying to get there. And there's been kind of a notion, and I think it's fair, that CJ Stroud and Jordan Love are in the same tier. If I'm CJ Stroud, this is going to be a game where even if Jordan Love wins, you can sit there and you can say the Texans were depleted. But they start throwing him in that conversation with CJ Stroud. We know that CJ Stroud, kind of the toast of the NFL media. He's one of the most popular names mentioned. I thought I saw Snoop Dogg, which CJ was in his Pee Wee League, so he might be a little bit biased, but Snoop Dogg, or maybe he was on that
high-grade marijuana called Kush on the streets. Did you know what that was?
Now I do.
Neither.
And maybe I am too. But he said he had CJ as the third best quarterback in the league. That might be a little early too. But the notion that Jordan Love is better than Josh Allen is silly. It's not true. Let's just be 100% serious. He's not better. So let's sweep that to the side. Pawn Shop 84 says he's got 100 on the game. Okay, so you go Texans money line and get even money. You taking the 3? Talk to me. Let me know what you're doing. I'm kind of staying away from this one right now. Right now, I'm trying to dip my toe into the water. I got a couple bills on the over in the Oklahoma State BYU game. Shout out to BetUS, by the way. YouTube 150, YouTube 150. If you want to get in the game and wager on the game. My bet of the week, by the way, Ryan Wingo of Texas, over 27.5 receiving yards. Last week, I gave you Gunnar Helm, over 30.5. He had 28 at halftime. He ended up with 81. And that hit in the third quarter. Ryan Wingo, 27.5, freshman receiver out of Texas. So that's where we're going there. Lock Dog, are you worried as me with Reed and Watson on the deep balls? Yes, I think this is one of the most underrated receiving cores in the NFL. They might not have the number one. You might not point to one guy. But I think Green Bay, with everything said, I think they got one of the most underrated receiving cores in the entire league. And the Texans right now, their secondary is very vulnerable. Not only do you have Ross at corner, with Lassiter out. You also have Jalen Petrie playing nickel. You have linebackers, reserve linebackers, and it's a very, very vulnerable state that this Texans defense is in against the pass. But again, just to say this one more time, Jordan Love is not the best quarterback the Texans have faced. That might change in a year. I don't care what happens. I don't care if he throws 5 touchdowns and throws for 400 yards. He's not better than Josh Allen. There's not a GM in the NFL that would take Jordan Love over Josh Allen. Not one. So, D'Amico, that was nice of him to say. He might play the best, but no, they're not. Shout out to my man from Seguin. Shout out to Seguin. Devin, best daily YouTube channel. For Texans, I would agree with that. No doubt. How you doing, Dark? Darkman 420. Okay. I was going to say that. I was like, man, I better read that right. What you got for college props tomorrow? Nice call on Helm. Ryan Wingo over 27.5 yards. That might be one catch. I think they unleashed the freshman. 27.5 yards. Texas, Georgia. That's what we're going with. Hopefully this over hits with Oklahoma State, BYU. Looks like it's going to. It's looking pretty damn good, actually. We are ahead of that pace. Linebackers are going to be Jake Hansen, a.k.a. Umbop, and Neville Hewitt, a.k.a. the tackling machine, as Cal McNair once called him. Love is going to hate going against our D-line on Sunday. It's a hell of a D-line, and we don't even know how it's going to look with Autry in the mix. So we'll see how that goes. Brandon's in Austin for the game. Shout out to you, my friend. I am very jealous of you. I love going up and down Guadalupe Street and then walking across, and carrying around beer and going to the tailgate. The job that they've done out there is fantastic. So shout out to you. We got a surprising beef, my friends. And I'll just set the scene. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. Be sure to ride along. It is the Locker Room, #1 source for Texans digital content. Tim Settle, one of the more entertaining guys for the Texans, has had a pretty good season as a reserve D lineman. And he's just one of those guys that has a good personality. The locker room kind of gravitates towards him. He immediately gets along with everyone. But he plays mean as F. I mean, the way that he plays on the field is not proportional to the personality of him. And who would have thunk it? We talk about betting. Who would have thunk that Tim Settle and what Tim Settle said would travel to Lambeau Field and arrive at one of their best players' locker in Josh Jacobs, and one of the keys for the Texans to win this game, stopping Josh Jacobs. So here's how this went down. Myself, Cody Stutes, Brian Bearfield, aka Big Sarge, we were in the locker room. Settle was kind of holding court a little bit, just kind of joking around. Then we said, all right, let's go talk to Tim Settle. This was during the open locker room portion. I went up there. Sarge went up there. Stutes went up there. Here was the first part of Tim Settle, and this was pretty good as well. This wasn't the one that went viral, but this was the first part of Tim Settle. These were my questions to him.
All right, so obviously shorthanded on defense. Mindset heading into the big road game in Green Bay.
Nothing changed. Same mindset. Obviously roles got to be changed, but ain't nothing changed. We got the same standard. Whoever's up, let's go.
What's it like winning on the road compared to winning at home? Is there an extra bit of satisfaction going in someone else's house?
Obviously, it's hostile on the road. You got fans, a little crazy, but I feel like it kind of tones the stadium once you win. Kind of like, you walk in somebody's crib and you take over their crib. That's all it's about. Even going there, shut everybody up and win, go on about our day, get back on down to Houston.
There you go. So after he said that, I kind of I stopped recording because that was what I had. But then Big Sarge at Big Sarge Sports, he got in the mix too. And this was the comment from Tim Settle. And I think this is the effing mindset you need if you're the Texans at this point. when you're shorthanded and stuff. Talking about the physicality. Here was Tim Settle's comment, courtesy of at Big Sarge Sports, about the physicality and the running style of Josh Jacobs.
You're a disruptive force. You play very violently when you're on the field. How is it when you go up against a running back like Josh Jacobs who has that same mindset?
You got to tackle him about it. I don't got no problem getting my hands dirty. Yeah, I got no problem. I'm gonna try to knock his helmet off. Yeah, that's just on me. I don't care about nothing there. I don't care about where he went. I don't care about what he did. I don't care. I don't.
All right. So there you go. And that was what Tim Settle said. He was feeling it. And it made its way down to Green Bay. Up to Green Bay, I guess I should say. Hit the like button for sure. Be sure to swarm that mofo.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Here was Josh Jacobs' response to Tim Settle in Green Bay.
They got two really good edge rushers. You know, they be up the field fast and things like that. And they tackle pretty well. So it's gonna be an interesting game. I heard some things about how they was talking about they're gonna be physical with me. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be fun.
You want to respond to that?
I don't know his name. I just know it was defensive lineman. So we're gonna see.
So should we be prepared for another week of trash talking?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mic'd up this week, so it's definitely gonna be a lot of that.
All right, so there you go. Tim Settle got the attention of Josh Jacobs, courtesy of the scrum. And it was just me, Stutes, and Sarge in there. And you can tell Settle's feeling it. And I think this is a good mindset to have, especially for the glue guys, for lack of a better term, the guys that you don't necessarily expect. Look, Danico Autry, you heard the way Nick Caserio talked about him on Sports Radio 610.
Danico, I mean, this guy's a badass. I mean, this guy's a junkyard dog. Like, if you go into a dark alley, like, you want this guy behind you. Like, this is a bad MFer. I mean, glad he's on our side, and, we're excited about what potentially he could bring to our front. Yeah, so he said that, and about Autry. So he has the mindset. You have the mindset with Tim Settle. We already know the starters seem to have that mindset. So I think this is the kind of mindset you need when you go into the trap. H-Town Forever says, I need to ask better questions. What questions would you have asked Tim Settle there about the mindset and everything like that? I'm open for suggestions from H-Town Forever. Looks like he's a big CJ fan. He's got CJ's nuts on letters. I don't know what that is. Is that like your Spank Bank or something like that? I've never seen that right there. That's crazy. So you got Texans, and where the A is supposed to be, you basically got CJ teabagging you. That's crazy, brother. I don't know what that is. Tim Settle, my new fave. He's a good reserve. I mean, he's a good reserve guy. He seems to have a mindset. He seems to fit into what they do. He seems to play the style that D'Amico wants to play. So I like the way Tim Settle works. Not throwing out any heat. I don't understand this here. Everett Locker does. I'm trying to figure this out. So you like putting like, what is this like teabag graphic or something like that? Is that AI? What is that? H-Town Forever. You got him like sitting there like showing you his sack. I don't know what that is at all. Philip Avery, he's about to call fans out. I saw the beginning of this. I haven't read the whole thing. Texans fans have a loser mentality. Why y'all so scared of the Packers? What have they won? They didn't go any further in the divisional round last year, just like us. I would say, just to tell you like why I think this is such a tough game. First of all, they're a good football team. They have a good coach. They have a really good defense. They have an underrated receiving core. It's in their house, and half the Texans defense is hurt. I think that would be the reason why someone might be a little bit unconfident in this game. That would probably be my guess for sure. So we'll see how this whole thing goes. But Tim Settle making it happen. Rock WP. Shout out to Rock WP. I compared this game to the Bengals game last year on the road with no Collins and a banged up defense. Would you agree? Man, that was a crazy game because that was probably the most impressive. I think you kind of had Burrow banged up a little bit. Fairbairn was out because remember they had that was kind of the Amendola game. I think they're more banged up actually this year than they were last year when they faced Cincinnati. But it is like the same type of mindset. I looked at the Cincinnati one though, even though I think this one might be just as difficult, if not more difficult. I looked at it more as kind of like a measuring stick type of game where you beat a team that was at that time believed to be a Super Bowl contender before Burrow went down. And you have CJ Stroud going out there and going toe to toe with Burrow. But yeah, I get what you're saying with, some of your best players are out and you're going to have to figure some stuff out. So yeah, I get that. But at this point, I think you think you're a really good squad. Last year, you were trying to prove that you were a good squad there. But yeah, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Jair and Diggs about to be a movie. I was actually kind of disappointed because Jacob said he was mic'd up. Does that mean Alexander's not going to be mic'd up? Maybe they mic up Diggs because that is the other grudge match. That's the grudge match we knew about. We knew about the history of Stephon Diggs and Jair Alexander. The Tim Settle might not even be on the field a ton. Who knows? But yeah, Jacob's hell of a runner. Their D-line's okay. It's not incredible. It's okay. Not bad. Their secondary's nasty as F though. Nasty as hell. It's almost kind of like a flip-flop, except their D-line's probably healthier than the Texans secondary right now. But it's kind of a flip-flop where the overall class of their defense is the deep guys, and the overall class of the Texans defense is the guys up front. Is Love even that good? I think he's good. I don't think he's better than Josh Allen. Are there any Packer fans that think that? Is that a real thing? And I don't know that CJ is like light years ahead of him. I would say that if you told Green Bay we'll trade you CJ Stroud for Jordan Love, I think they would do it. I don't think the Texans would. But he's a fine player. Alexander's always limited. He's always a little bit banged up, but he seems to play. You say Bobby Slowick better call a hell of a game.
Damn it, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean this is a Bobby Slowick game, and I don't know if y'all caught this on the in his press conference or earlier today, but Bobby Slowick actually grew up in Wisconsin. He was a Packers fan, and his house was actually like less than 2 miles from the stadium. So it's probably a little bit extra sentimental to Bobby Slowick. They always show that video of teams pulling up to Green Bay, and there's all the houses and stuff, like the old school ass houses. One of them might be Bobby's house. He talked about walking home pissed off during a Packers game where they were kind of getting smoked. So it's going to be something. I'm sure this means a lot to Bobby Slowick, just growing up right there. And if you grow up right there, then it's probably a little bit sentimental. St. Louis Rebel, the furthest Josh Allen ever went in the playoffs was the divisional round. Stop gassing that dude. I think he's pretty good. I really do. I don't really think that I don't think gassing up Josh Allen and saying that he's the best quarterback that the Texans have faced is crazy. I think he's pretty damn good. I also think you probably need to check on your facts because they've been to the divisional round. They lost to Kansas City, who went to the Super Bowl. They lost to Cincinnati, and they lost to Kansas City again. but that he has been to an AFC championship game. So I would probably get your facts straight before you start coming that hard, Mark McGuire. But yeah, I all I'm saying is he's the best quarterback that they've faced. But yeah, go do some research there, brother. If Sims can't go, who's next up for the punt returner? I think Tank, man. Like I truly think I truly think that we're this close to seeing more Tank Dell at punt returner. And I don't know how that makes a lot of people feel. Some people kind of want to wrap Tank up in bubble wrap, but I think they're getting very close to at least situationally putting Tank Dell back there. I think it's more possible this week than most weeks that we've seen. And he's been the second guy returning punts. It's been Sims has been out there, but it's been Tank right after him. So I actually think there's a chance that we see Tank doing it. Then as far as like kick returns, maybe it's Pierce. But I definitely think you need to keep an eye on Tank Dell. St. Louis says, he's been to AFC Championship. Oops, my bad. It's all good, man. It doesn't matter. It's all fine, man. Don't have to worry about it. Subscribe, like, ride along, Locker Room, #1 source for Texans digital content. Got all kinds of prediction coming, but saw somebody mention Hutchinson. Also, have you seen that? Mention him on what? Not sure. Sarah be noticing stuff. She's the one who brought the Jacob stuff up. She likes to go look at other teams' YouTubes during the week. I do too. I noticed the depth chart. Tim Settle, Foley, Faticasio are the starting DTs on the Texans website. Danico Autry behind Daniil. Do you think Dimitri won't be on the field first instead of Tim? I don't know. I don't think they're going to list him as a starter. I think Burt kind of slipped up a couple times and called him a hybrid, which I don't think is bad, but I think he looks at it as kind of like you're not like a true starter. But when Burt kind of slipped up, I think 3 times he mentioned the word hybrid when breaking down Autry's game, makes me think it's going to be very selective and they're going to rotate him in. So we'll see how that goes. If the Texans get a lead to where they put Green Bay in throwing situations though, then look out. And I think that's one of the things that you need to look out for. Like if they can put Jordan Love in obvious throwing situations, then you're able to have Autry, Danielle Hunter, and Will Anderson doing their thing. And then whoever's in the middle, that's going to be a big opportunity for the Texans. And you have opportunities to intercept Jordan Love. You just got to take advantage of it. But that's you're talking about kick return, punt return, Paul, with Hutchinson. I haven't really seen Hutchinson back there. They usually do punt return during the open portion of media. I've seen him do kick a little bit, but he's not necessarily back there a ton. Maybe they give him a chance to do that, but it hasn't been something that has really stuck out. Neville Hewitt breakout game, leading tackler. I'm calling it. You talking about last week or this week? Because he led the team in tackles last week. How much do we see Pierce this week? I don't know. Probably about a little less than last week, assuming that's a close game. I think they were able to kind of let Mixon ice up. What's up with Metch? He's there. That's really pretty much it. I don't care how many tackles Hewitt gets as long as we have have another wrestling move. I don't know how much special teams he's going to play. I'm sure he'll still play it, but I mean, he's going to be playing a hell of a lot on defense. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a wild game. And I can't wait to watch it. And I know y'all can't wait to watch it either. The biggest concerns on the defense for me, as far as being shorthanded, I am very concerned about Jalen Petrie. And I know that you'll say, well, wait, why aren't you talking about D'Angelo Ross? Why aren't you talking about Hansen or Hewitt? I think Jalen Petrie has put out, and you hear the coaches go up there and say, man, we don't like putting that tape out. I think Jalen Petrie has put out signs between last year and this year of being vulnerable in coverage. LaFleur is definitely going to challenge the linebackers. I think he's probably going to challenge Ross a little bit more than Fudge Pop Patriots challenged him, but I think Petrie is going to be the guy to watch when it comes to coverage. He's going to have an opportunity to make some plays. And quite frankly, when the linebackers are out, he's basically your third linebacker. He's got to step it up. He's got to step it up. Like, just like if there were guys out on the D line and Will Anderson had to step up, that's what Jalen Petrie needs to do. He's essentially a linebacker. They're playing two linebackers and they're playing Jalen Petrie close to the line of scrimmage, and he's done a hell of a job in that role. I will say that the coverage limitations are what they are, but he's done a hell of a job. He needs to step it up. We haven't seen Jalen Petrie get an interception in a regular season game since last year. You know who? Let me put it this way. You know, outside of we saw the preseason, we saw the pick six, but in a regular season game, do you guys know who the last quarterback that Jalen Petrie picked off was? Do you guys have any idea who it was? Let's go ahead. Let's get some guesses. Who was the last quarterback that Jalen Petrie picked off? It was Justin Fields with the Chicago Bears in 2022 when Jalen Petrie had 2 interceptions. This was when the Texans, you were probably wanting them to lose so they could get a good pick in the draft and get a quarterback. A lot of people were Bryce Young guys. Me, just got to be honest. But when Justin Fields was the quarterback for the Bears, Justin Fields this week is with the Steelers. Russell Wilson's coming in. When he was with the Chicago Bears 2 seasons ago, that was the last time Jalen Petrie got an interception in a regular season game. Need one of those, man. Need one of those. And I think he might get an opportunity because I think LaFleur is going to go at him. And I think the defensive line might force Jordan Love to make some bad decisions. Some really, really bad decisions. This defensive line is like tequila. It makes people make bad decisions. A lot of pressure. You could say that the pressure rate is like the peer pressure, and then the defense is like the tequila. Bad decisions. Bad decisions. You miss Christian Harris, yeah? I don't know when you're going to see him. I would bet against seeing him anytime before the Jets. I said I wouldn't even bet on it in October, but there's no way they're bringing him back next week. I would be shocked. And then to play in New York against the Jets 4 days later, I would be shocked. So I don't think we see Christian Harris for a few more games. It's my bet. I have told y'all though, and if you follow this channel, I said when they said the 4 weeks, I said it was going to be longer. Wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on it. You might be able to. He might hit the practice field. I don't think he plays in the next 3 games at least. And quite frankly, I don't know that we see him all of October. He'll be fresh. You can hold it down without him. But yeah, that would be my bet. For sure. We aren't scared of the Green Bay Packers anyway. I don't know about scared. They're good. You're shorthanded. They're good. Petrie has a better chance knocking Josh Helmet off than getting an INT from the nickel position. Yeah, I mean, if he gets an INT from the nickel position, I don't think it's just going to be because he's like putting on a coverage clinic. I think it'll be because, again, tequila, bad decisions. The defensive line, a.k.a. tequila, creates bad decisions. Maybe Jordan Love throws it up to him. But yeah, as far as just, hey, get in the slot on one of these Green Bay receivers and do work, nah. I don't know why y'all like Jamal Hill so much. I don't get this. Did y'all see something from him? Like, what made y'all like Jamal Hill so much? He was fine at Oregon. I mean, linebackers, hey, like he was all over the place, and he seems to be like a hipster favorite. What is good about Jamal Hill? I'm asking. I'm not being sarcastic. I just hear we want to see Jamal Hill. Why? How do you think that would go? Especially with what these linebackers are being asked to do. These linebackers are asked to be physical as hell. I mean, they moved him to safety. Do you want like you've seen what Azeez Al-Shaair has been asked to do, and you've seen what Henry To'oTo'o has been asked to do. You think that you want to see Jamal Hill go in there and do that? What about Jamal Hill's game, even in an ideal scenario, makes you think that you want to see him do that? I haven't seen anything to make me think I need to see Jamal Hill. Not in camp, not in preseason, and not based on the other guys they got at all. How many sacks will the D-line have? I don't know. I have no idea. A few? 3? Don't know. Couple? Jamal Hill got a lot of speed, so he can cover the running back and tight end. Okay. You say so. I don't see that. Hill is the perfect nickel. Okay. You say so. When I think about Jamal, it's probably the watch flex that he mimicked Sanders at the end of the game. I think he picked him off or something. So Jamal Hill's like a developmental player. Like Jamal Hill wasn't drafted because they said, all right, we can plug this guy in. Like he's a developmental player. And I mean, he can develop into a guy that could potentially contribute. I don't think he's to that point yet. I think it's cool to say. I think it's cool to imagine because you kind of look at him as a guy who can do everything once you looked at him at Oregon and all that. But I don't think Jamal Hill is really a factor. I think Neville Hewitt and Hansen are the guys that you need to watch. And I think both of those guys are going to have their work cut out for them once Matt LaFleur decides to put him in coverage. And who knows how that goes. V-Bake, this is an excellent point, and I appreciate you, my friend. Damn, that's a pretty is that a sunset or sunrise? Oh no, it looks cool right now though. Looks really cool.
High-grade marijuana called Kush on the streets. Did you know what that was?
Now I
Me
do.
neither.
Landry, everyone knows a 6th rounder. He'll become the best defensive back of all time. It's simple math. Look at Tom Brady. That's a good point. Now that's something nobody's talking about. That's a really, really good point. Jamal Hill for president. I hope Jamal Hill goes out there one of these days and just completely wreaks havoc on the rest of the league. And we're sitting there saying, Christian Harris, who? Is the popcorn machine still broken? It is. It is. By the way, I want to ask y'all this because y'all like to give me a hard time, and I understand. I deserve it. But I just want to ask you this. Was this a win or a loss? It was kind of like a split decision today at Texans practice. I asked everyone there that was covering the squad, and I asked the PR staff, get your comments in. This is Friday. We're getting ready for the ball game. Y'all know how this stream is. When we got to get down to business, we get down to business. When we don't want to get down to business, we don't. We just chop up. A little bit of a mix. So here's my question. This is what I really want to know. So I got a gift from the wifey that has been one of the most useful gifts I've ever gotten. And I'm not even talking about the popcorn machine that died yesterday. I'm still mourning the loss of my popcorn machine, which was very useful as well. That spray butter, like you let the popcorn comes through, you spray like layers. Man, God, I want some of that popcorn. I can't even effing have popcorn. But anyway, so another gift that she got me, and I know this is irresponsible. It just kind of happens sometimes. I lose my keys. It happens. I lose my keys. So she got me this sensor, like it's a circle that goes inside of like a little pouch. And whenever I lose my keys, I just open the app in the phone. It tells me where the keys are. And if I want to make it make a sound, it makes a sound. So I pull out my phone, push the button, and it makes a sound. Okay. Pretty cool. It's worked a couple of times. I've needed to use it more times than I'm willing to admit. So the other day I went to the movies. I got home from the movies and I noticed, damn, my little sensor is out. Like it fell out of the patch. I don't know where it is. So I opened up the app. I looked at the app. It said that it was at 2323 Memorial City or whatever, which is the movies and the Mo City Mall. Shout out to all the viewers that I saw. I saw like two, I think, yeah, 3 viewers. I walked by when I was going to the theater. Shout out to y'all. Anyway, I went back to the movies this morning. I thought maybe it was in the parking lot. The sensor can be a little bit off. This was before I went to practice. This was my morning before I went to practice. Practice was at 11:15. I got to that movie theater about 10:10. Walked in. Movies were barely open. I asked the lady behind the stand. I was like, "Hey, here's this. This is crazy. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I have an app on my phone where I can locate my keys. But I dropped the thing to locate my keys, and I need to go get it. I think it's in theater. I think it was 12, right there at seat F, row one. She's like, this girl's probably like, she's probably like in college or like at some community college. Just go to the movie theater. And she's like, look at this idiot. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's dumb. She's like, well, go over there. There might be a manager and he'll be able to help you. Walked up, manager wasn't there. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go in this movie theater and I'm just going to get my damn keys. So I walked to the movie theater. Garfield was playing, I think, or something like that. It was some cartoon. No one was in there, though. It was like an empty movie theater. And I pressed the beep, 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 beep. So I go over. By the way, they're not cleaning as good as they should underneath because there's like popcorn and candy and crap there. I think they need to clean a little bit better. But sure enough, like right there on the armrest was my white little sensor thing. So I got to ask y'all, is that a win or a loss? If I have to go get something in the morning and track it down when it's supposed to help me actually find my keys, but it fell out of my keys and I went and found it, is that a win or a loss? It's a question I want to know. Is that a W or an L? Because that was a lot. Dude, where's my car? Dude, except I knew where it was. That was the good thing. H-Town's Ultimate says it's an L. That's fair. Pawn Shop says it's a W. Got a W. Patty says a win. It's a mixture of, that was the best answer I got. Someone said it's a tie, which is really good thinking outside the box. Losing it to begin with makes it an L, but what was it, a rally? What is a rally? W-E-E-D. Okay. We got dubs. It's an L. It's fair. That's very, very fair. W, win. But yeah, it happens. It's all good, man. Got it back. I'm also making ribs tomorrow for the first time on the tray. It's usually steak and chicken and fajitas. I'm going to try to make ribs. I don't know a damn thing about making ribs. This might be a disaster. I'm going to try to smoke them for like 5 hours. I'll put it in the first slate of games, try to have them ready for the Texas game. A little bit nervous about this because this could go really, really bad. Who knows? Mesquite, I think Mesquite. Is that a bad decision, Milio? Yes, that would be yes, would be my answer to that. Yes. That's what I'll say to that. Yes. Watch a video on how to cook ribs. Yeah, that's always the answer. Watch a video. Got to do that. We'll see how that goes. Post oak. Okay. Yeah, the post oak goes in. No doubt. Good luck on the ribs. They're going to suck. I already know. It's all good. But who knows? Appreciate everyone for coming through. We made it to the weekend. Shorthanded concerns for the Houston Texans. Jordan Love getting perhaps a little bit too much love. D'Amico Ryan's biggest test. Bobby Slowick's full circle life from a few blocks away to right there in the stadium calling plays. And oh my God, Tim Settle versus Josh Jacobs. We didn't see that one. We didn't see that one coming. So we'll see how this thing plays out. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for the post-game show. I think this one's going to be packed. Shout out to everyone for watching SNL in the morning and then watching this and downloading all the apps. The growth has been great. It's been fun covering the squad. How fun will it be on Sunday? Who knows? But no matter what happens when it comes to this Texan stuff, whether we're losing our keys, whether Tim Settle or Joe Mixon are making headlines, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. We made it to the weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. What a time to be alive.
Every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too. Landlocked, got the game in the headlock. Localized every time, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not too. Plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days. Opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up, then it's up. We number one. You don't need to try your luck.